So Russia just hit Ukraine with a massive, and I mean massive, drone strike. We knew that a day like today would be coming because they've been saving up. They've been only using a limited number of drones and missiles, and they just passed Independence Day. So, we're taking a deep breath on Independence Day, but here we are. Okay, I'm going to get to what happened with this missile strike, like hundreds of these, and we're going to get to that after just a couple other things. So let's look at the battlefield. 1,140 Russians off the battlefield, 4 tanks, 17 armored fighting vehicles, 47 artillery systems, 80 vehicles and fuel tanks. So nothing's really changed here. And your perpetuous list a little better than 1 to 1, maybe 1 point something to 1. Um, Following up on yesterday, what happened, Reuters security advisor was killed in Kramatorsk when a Russian occupier struck the hotel where journalists were staying. Two things are wrong with that: striking a hotel, a civilian target, and where journalists are staying. Like, okay, but Russia's not going to pay for anything. They're not going to be held responsible for this, at least not yet, and so they'll keep doing it. Okay, this is what it looks like. These are crowds in Kyiv hiding in the subway from Russian missiles and Shahed supplied by Iran. The Ukraine is on its Independence Day, or just after its Independence Day. The enemy launched over 100 missiles and around 100 Shahed drones in one of the largest combined attacks targeting critical civilian infrastructure. So they're going after the electric grid and whatever collateral damage might be around it. Russian forces launched missiles at Ukraine in the morning of 26 August, which has been lasting for about 6 hours already. It actually went longer than that. Ukraine's Air Force reported that Russia deployed 6 long-range 22 M3 strategic bombers. When one of these is taken down, and I show you this, and we're like, well, there goes another one, this is why that's important, because this kind of thing just keeps happening. Here, Jane Kyiv posted this picture of Odessa this morning. It's not looking very good. My friend Greg Terry posted this video. He's going to shoot another one for me in a little while, but he posted this on his channel, so we're going to watch just a minute or so of his analysis.
Or just typical planning of war between Russia and Ukraine. Today's a tough day. I can tell you right now that 15 regions in Ukraine, 15 oblasts, have been affected significantly with power infrastructure. We've had 4 people killed as of right now. The attack continues with Shaheeds in the air right now. I can tell you that in our home base city, it was de-energized and is still de-energized. We lost 300 megawatts out of the grid. No water, no power. Communication is down. I can also tell you that hits in Rivne, Lutsk, Lviv. I can just continue. It's 15 regions. So a very, very large attack on the energy infrastructure of Ukraine is what's happening. Yes, there's been...
Yeah, I was going to show you the Euromaidan press, just like listing everywhere it was, and I was like, man, this is almost too tedious to go through just what was going on there. But I want to add one more thing, because he texted me this, said, man, it's very, very bad here today. Major cities completely without power and water. If your sources are not telling you that, it's not true. That's what I'm seeing all over open source kind of things. And again, I'll have you another update from Greg in a little bit. This is Kyiv's hydroelectric power station. This is what it looks like. Another view of this: Russians targeted the Kyiv Reservoir Dam just a few kilometers north of the Ukrainian capital, caused some damage. Russians damaged the Kyiv hydroelectric power station. Again, some more views of this. This was a missile that I saw the video of the missile hitting, and I just put the still frame so you could see what it looked like. It was apparently knocked off balance, or knocked off by air defense or something, because it hit in the water. Mercifully, this one. This is Sergei Sumleny. Russian Nazis have hit Kyiv hydro power plant dam today. Kyiv dam holds 3.7 billion tons of water. It's located upstream from Kyiv, so a breach of the dam would kill thousands of civilians in Kyiv and nearby towns. Russia must be stopped by force. Now, he says that, and he's a legitimate source. However, the Disinformation Countering Center denies a threat to the Kyiv hydropower plant. There's no threat to the dam of the Kyiv hydroelectric power plant, which is situated in the Kyiv region after a Russian attack on Monday morning. Head of the Center for Countering Disinformation. Now, he wasn't like trying to give disinformation. He's just a layman looking at this. Um, but the Center for Countering Disinformation under the National Security and Defense Council has said, quote, regarding the dam of the Kyiv hydropower plant, there are no threats. It's impossible to destroy it with missiles. It should not be compared with the Kherson region, the dam at the Kahova hydropower plant in Novokahova, where there was an explosion from the inside. The Russians are informationally using this topic to stir up panic no more. So you should be aware of that thing. This is official from Ukraine being put out. So I was nervous about that until I read this as well. Okay. Russian morning attack, 15 Ukraine Oblasts, injured 21, killed 4 people, according to local authorities. That's what Greg was just talking about as well. Among the injured, a 5-month-old baby, 10-year-old girl, 8-year-old boy in Odessa. Air raid alert lasted almost 7 hours in Kyiv and over 10 hours in many other Ukrainian regions. Please remind me, what were the consequences for Russia after they deliberately hit a children's hospital in Kyiv more than a month ago? That's a great question, because this kind of nonsense is going to keep happening until there's some force compelling them not to, because there are consequences. And as long as there's no consequences, Putin will keep doing what Putin keeps doing. A UAV probably crashed into Polish territory during the Russian attack on Ukraine. But the Poles and NATO will do nothing. They'll say some strong words like they said last time, and strong words like the Romanians said the time before that, and nothing will happen. During the massive Russian attack on Ukraine, which took place on the morning of August 26th, a yet unidentified object entered Polish airspace and apparently landed on Polish territory. The head of the operational command said that apparently it was an unmanned aerial vehicle. Presumably it fell near the border town. Okay, so there we are. Meanwhile, Putin is saying that the main condition for Russia's economic development is the successful ending of the special military operation. So Gerashenko's commentary is that Russia can't survive without killing, destroying, and looting. Putin has no intention of ending the war. He still believes that he can win. I think that that's right. I don't think he's even trying to end the war. I think he wants to keep going. He has maximalist objectives, and he's nowhere near even taking the Donbass yet, or the whole of the Donbass yet. So, or the Donetsk full regional territory. Okay, more commentary. And I'm making it clear when something's news and when something's commentary. But I hear this, Andrew. Andrew Perpetua put, Ukraine needs to perform an all-out strike on the Russian electrical grid. I don't believe that that will happen. But I understand why he would say that. Send every resource they have to take out as much of it as possible. And a little bit further, he was saying, like, if they did that, if you could black out Russia, like Russia's blacking out Ukraine right now, there would be some social unrest and upheaval. I'm not so sure that there would be. I think they would just suffer under it. Okay, Rustem Umerov, that's the defense minister, says after Russia's missile attack, we need to lift restrictions on strikes on enemy facilities. Here it is. Overnight, Russia attacked our cities again. Civilians suffered, houses were destroyed, critical infrastructure was damaged. Once again, this proves that for victory, we need long-range capabilities and the lifting of restrictions on strikes of the enemy's military facilities. Ukraine's preparing its answers, weapons of own production. So this is the key right there. I don't know that the Biden administration will ever allow. I don't know that the Biden administration will ever allow. Maybe they will, but they can't count on the United States to actually lift the restriction, because the United States is looking to the reset button after the war. And that's the unfortunate reality in my estimation. So they need to make weapons of their own production. I would imagine this is priority number one right now. Well, maybe number two after defending Покровsk. This is a high priority in Ukraine right now. Deep condolences to the families of the victims. Together we will stand and win. Glory to Ukraine. Around noon today, a large explosion, as the Ukrainians are answering back in a limited way, large explosion in the Gazprom Omsk refinery in Omsk. I don't know if I said any of that correctly. Russian channels report that the AVT-11 refining unit is burning, with fire covering roughly 1,000 square kilometers of the complex. Well, what is this? It's a oil refinery. This refinery is the largest refinery in Russia, operating since 1955. It produces 50 types of oil products. And where is it? It's just above Kazakhstan. Ukraine is down here, so that's a pretty long way to be hitting this refinery. So the Ukrainians are left simply with this. They have a dilemma. They can either continue to just catch these arrows, or they can kill the archers. And what they need to do is go after the archers. And if the United States will not allow them to, they have to build their own weapons that are capable of doing it. Again, finally, this is what it looked like in Kyiv last night, and I want to leave you with this. People singing the anthem of Kyiv in a crowd metro station serving as shelter during the massive Russian attacks. The song is called "Impossible Not to Love You, My Kyiv." Okay, thank you, my friends. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes and the shares and the subscribes. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.